We gather together to get ready for what? Only heaven knows. We wait for the day when God will create a prevailing peace on earth, and natural-born enemies will turn into newborn friends. We get ready for God to come close by laying our lives open to Jesus, asking Him to sort through all our mixed motives. Jesus, we welcome your presence now with the lighting of these candles, whose flames bring warmth to winter and fill this place with a glow of hope. Welcome to the second Sunday of Advent. Notice that things are a little different in your normal church place. We have different colors. We have things that are a little different in your whole staff that helps put these things on. Has still got to get right exactly in step. We're just a little bit out of step, but we're all right. We have blue on the altar, on the hangings, and Maggie is in a blue chasuble and a blue stole. Blue is the second color for Advent. Primarily, it's been purple, as I have on this day, but yet last week I had blue on. I really like the blue, it's kind of fun. And the official blue is called Sarah blue, and it's pretty close. The set we have was made by the mother of our friend, the Reverend Stina Pope. Stina wanted a blue set for a church where she was serving. She let that desire be known, and her mother made it. So we thank her mother. Stina's loaned it to us for the season as much as we want to use it. Next week, we'll have some pink. So the reason these colors change and things look a little different, you notice we don't have flowers. We have greenery. Because this becomes a penitential type of season. And remember that in the churches of old, not everybody was able to read and write. Not everybody knew what was going on. So if we changed colors for them, then they knew that the church season had been changed. So here we are, we have blue, we have greenery, and why in the world is it we need to look at this season differently? This is a prayerful season, a season when we have to look into ourselves. We need to take extra time to be prayerful, to be worshipful. This is a season of thought process as we prepare to welcome the greatest gift we've ever been given. This is procession up into the Christmas season, when we welcome the Christ child into our midst. We're here. We're here because we've been called to worship Christ, to learn about Christ. But you know, sometimes we need our existence pulled to a halt. Now, I'm a perfect candidate to tell you, yes, I understand that. It's learning the word no, and this has been good because our senior warden has been taking very good care of us and saying, don't do too much, don't do too much, as we all work hard to maintain some consistency around here. This is a season when you need to be prayerful, when you need to be meditational. I don't care where you go and sit in silence. do the very most in this season as we prepare to sing and welcome the Christ child is be prayerful. Be quiet. Listen for the whisperings that come into our lives. Find your place of quiet. I know Sister Karen has one, and mine, if I get in the wood shop, I can just turn wood and watch the glory of God come out of a piece of wood as I turn it. I don't care where it is. To find a place. Now, in this morning's gospel, we find John. John is a character. You'd think he came down out of those woods out there, and he's got a big, long, hairy face. And he's in animal skins. That's what he wears. In this particular gospel, it says camel. I've read it otherwise too, and it doesn't matter. The thing that always tickles my fancy when I think about John in the river baptizing people, and he's dressed in animal skins, I know what my dog smells like when it gets completely wet. So I just wonder, just saying. John and Christ are spiritual friends. When their mothers came together, when they were both still percolating in utero, they knew. They had that spiritual sense between them. And they became friends. Some of the scholars have written that they probably were schooled in the same school, and they probably played on the paths and stuff together. But they grew up being men of very different sorts, but being spiritual friends. So that's another lesson for us. There's a huge value in having a spiritual friend that you can sit with and just be quiet. And I believe that that's what John and Christ were for each other. So John's in the river, baptizing people. The Sadducees and the Pharisees come because they think they ought to be baptized too. And John looks at them and says, you haven't got a clue yet, folks. You guys just think you can show up and all will be well. That's not necessarily the case. So here comes Christ, dressed way different than John is. But knowing and feeling that he needs to go to this man that has been preaching about his coming. John was like the head trumpeter that announced, talking about Christ, talking about this one that was coming. John even tells us, I'm not a big enough deal to even tie sandals. And he's talked to people a lot about this person that's coming. So Christ said, I need you to baptize me. And John is like, you think so? I don't think I really need to baptize you. Maybe not in so many words, but that was the point of it. So this is a time when Christ begins to take on some of the human things that we all need to take on. We need to be baptized. But that's not about the season. I mean, we can do that anytime. But this season wants us to think about what Christ is in our lives. And I think that it's a season for us to shut up and listen to what he tells us. Where I look around this room and I see see a level of busyness that's at some kind of crescendo way up here. Because I know that I can stand up here and say, we have a bunch of kids that need a meal, who will cook? And I'd probably have 20 hands, at least, go up in this congregation. We're busy. We're busy serving Christ in this, his kingdom. I know that. But let us take this season. After this week, we have 2 more weeks before we celebrate one of my favorite services in the world on Christmas Eve. Take time. Take time to listen. Take time to find something to read that will speak to you as you read it and listen to it. Take time to do whatever it is that you need to do to put some of that busyness out there. It's Advent. It's a season of listening and being by yourself, being with somebody else, being at the shore, just watching the rays roll in, the mist come off the water. Godly moments where you'll be spoken to if you but sit and listen. So I'd like to share a line with you that I unfortunately couldn't memorize for you. Like John, we are challenged to announce the beginning of a world not yet born. Critique our own and our community's hypocrisy. And recognize that Christ's presence demands a radical reorientation